Right, welcome everyone to the final episode of the Love Island Cast UK. I am Chris Phelps and my co-host is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. Delighted to speak to you again for the last episode of the UK Love Island Cast for 2019. So, what did you make to tonight's episode then?
Well, Dave, just before we get into the episode, I speak for you and me, probably not a lot of our listeners who absolutely, we all love the show, we love it, and just say fucking hallelujah. Because, you know, I understand, like, we do this for our entertainment, we do it because we love it, we do, you know, we love the response we get from everybody around the world, especially. It's fantastic, but as a project to do that and the US one, and I don't know which bellend said, let's do the US one simultaneously. Oh my word, Dave. It's been horrendous.
I think it might be the same bellend who's chucking out the fishing net saying, come on guys, what other reality TV shows can we do? Are you fucking shitting me?
Anyway,
so,
I've been Chris Phelps.
Should have a fucking word with himself.
I've been Chris Phelps. I'll see you next time.
No, I mean, obviously, we do love it. We do love it. But, crikey, I'm looking forward to a holiday now.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I tell you what, Greg and Amber totally shocked me. Totally. I think it's probably the result most people wanted as a neutral. I wasn't expecting it. When Ovi came third and we had Tommy and Molly-Mae, and Molly-Mae was trying her best. I'm trying not to give a bitch face off, but we've lost. And I thought that it is over for them two.
Well, I mean, I think both of us probably wanted Ovi in India. And again, you know, I'm not convinced by India.
No,
I have to say, I think she seems very chilled out, but it's played on my mind a little bit about what her mum was saying about her being a bit wild. And also I've seen Judy James coming out and saying she just looks picture perfect all the time. She's really playing up to the camera. Whereas Ovi looks totally into it. She's got her cards close to her chest. So, but when I did vote for them, and when they came third, I was like, right, okay, out of the two couples left, I want Greg and Amber to win. And so I was delighted when they got it. I've got no ill will towards Molly-Mae or Tommy. I think Tommy's great. I still remain to be convinced by her. And it's just, I know loads of people love Molly-Mae and get so emotional when she cries, but I just can't accept that she is a freak of nature and cries sand. Of all the people in the villa, you know, she cries a lot, but there's just no evidence of it. And so it's just, right. No, I'm willing to accept it could be crying, but the majority of me thinks, no, it's not. And so that's why I just thought, you know, Amber and Greg, they're still very early. You know, it's very early days for them, isn't it? But I don't buy into Molly-Mae. I just think Greg and Amber stand a much better chance.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I saw a tweet just after the show finished tonight, and it was a cracker with Greg, and it said, Greg's the type of guy who 5 minutes before the deadline hands his homework in that he's done this morning, and he's actually got a pass or an A star or something like that, because he's just come in and stole it, hasn't he? I mean, I love that tonight as well with the 50k when it was he had it and Amber was trying her best not to pick up, thinking, has he played me? Has he played me? Has he played me? Of course I wouldn't do that, you know. And I was like, yeah, come on. I mean, he's a good guy. He's perfect for them. And I think in some respects, I always talk about this media career they're going to have afterwards. Tommy and Molly will probably get something, even if they haven't won. And Greg and Amber will get something now, Dave, as well. They'll probably get the ITV2 or ITVB follow-up show, and that's where it'll lead. And we have got a reunion show on Sunday, but I'm not going to ask you to record anything, Dave.
Yeah, we won't. I will watch it probably, but yeah, we're not recording then.
Was there any highlights from the episode, Dave?
Well, I thought when Curtis, being an insufferable prick, to be honest, and we've had a bit of stick, haven't we? You know, don't leave Curtis alone. No, I'm sorry, but when it's the dancing challenge and that, it's like, look, don't rub it in everyone's faces that this is absolutely in your sweet spot. And I kept thinking, right, well, get a bit of fucking one-on-one basketball going and let's see how you fare with that, you know?
Yeah.
And you've got, in particular, Tommy has just got no rhythm or anything, has he? It was just totally Rocky 3, where Rocky goes into Apollo Creed's gym and he's got no rhythm and he can't move his feet or dance around or anything. It just reminded me of that. But I thought Curtis was going for it and showing off just a bit too much. You know, even if I particularly liked him, I'd have thought that was pretty distasteful. But yeah, they all polished up pretty well. They all the boys looked all very handsome. The girls looked stunning. So there was a bit more kind of highlights. I thought the final was going to be all just them and about the vote and everything like that. So it was nice to see a little bit of that stuff. And I'm pretty sure they're all rented suits after they jumped in and jumped into the pool and what have you. But I mean, what about yourself, Chris?
I just thought I'd said to you, dinner, the format of the show. They did show bits, which was pretty good. I wasn't far off. I'm not doing a Curtis now, being Mr. Smug. It showed about 20, 25 minutes, half an hour of a bit of the action, which I want. I like that sort of just normal interaction. And then it all built up to who goes. And obviously the first ones to go was Maura and Curtis. And then we had Ovi and India. And I think it's like what you said. I think it's right on reflection, what you'd said the other day about it just felt like they just took the gas off and they were just coasting over the line. The series had been done and gone. There was no more drama, and there was no more real drama shown in the last few episodes, was there really? The last 2 or 3 have just been a bit of a wet lettuce, really, a bit of a damp squib, to be honest. And do they need to show more drama? Not really. We know who everyone is, and I do agree with yourself. I think Curtis, it just comes across so patronising. I mean, when he's speaking to Maura, he's talking about her. I mean, imagine me sitting here with Sam going, she's a lovely young lady. She's a lovely young woman. If you like, after about the 8th time of saying it, you'd be like, shut the fuck up, you patronising fucker. It's so like, patronising.
He's fucking 23 and she's 28. And again, I still say it's down to his particular upbringing, and, you know, he mixes in these ballroom dancing circles. So, you know, he's obviously, he hears other people speaking like that and just mirrors it. But it just sounds ridiculous. With his age. I mean, fucking hell. I have never heard, and I doubt I'll ever hear, another 23-year-old talk about, yeah, she's a lovely young lady.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
I couldn't put that better.
Analysis, Chris.
Yeah, I couldn't have put it better. Now, Dave, that's a bit of a prediction.
It turned into, what was the guy from Father Ted? Father Jack?
Yeah, Father Jack. Yeah, fuck off.
Turned into him, you can tell it's the last episode.
No. I mean, what do you think? I have a joke about it. I said I'm going to run a book. Hand on heart prediction right now, which is going to be the first couple to break that's left the villa in the last...
Curtis and Maura.
Okay. Curtis and Maura.
No doubt.
Okay, I think... You may be surprised, and I think Belle and Anton. I said that yesterday. I'm not sure Molly and Tommy would be that stupid. If they get a management company behind them, they're going to milk it for as much as they can. And I think obviously Amber and Greg are going to be on everything this morning, GMTV, whatever it's called now, BBC. It's going to be on all of it because and the radio shows. They'll be on a tour now for months earning all the money, and there'll be an OK magazine and all that crap. So that's all going to come. I think what'd be interesting is just to see at some point, if it happens, I did say this yesterday, but yeah, it's finished now. And it sounds daft, Dave, but within a couple of weeks, you just forget about everything. I mean, they did a storyboard of the show, didn't they, last night? And when you're looking at people like the girl who come in with, what's she called? The one who came in with Maura. And there was... what's the name? They said the name tonight.
Elma?
Elma, and then you even had Tom as well. Remember Knobhead Tom, who's from Leeds?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do remember Tom.
Yeah, exactly. So you forget all these characters so quickly. You know, we had Yuandi, which we know we're not going to forget. Danny, Jordan. There was all these characters that came. I mean, George, Ivan Drago said about 3 words. All he talked about was some butty
or crisps.
You like crisps, whatever it was. Yeah, absolutely crap. But it's done now. I've enjoyed it. I think it's been a fantastic sort of spectacle for me and you, especially getting you into it. It's been the highlight of this whole series forever until the bloody, they take me out of this world. There'll be you saying you hated it. They're all narcissistical arseholes. And then after about 4 days, message me going, Chris, I think I really like it. And I'm like, yeah.
I still maintain that initial analysis, though. I still think they're all narcissistic arseholes, just to varying degrees. I mean, I think Morris, that's the second time I'm sure I've said that. So Maura and Curtis, I think they will stick together. I think they're both career-driven. They both want something in the media out of this. So, again, I think they'll probably... I think they'll probably stick together publicly for a little while longer.
Yeah, they might do. It's more a case of who offers them the most, Dave. That's the thing. What work they've got lined up outside. I know it's bad, but unfortunately, it's the world and that they live in. It's show business, and that's it. So
I think that I've said what I've said about Molly-Mae and the tears and everything. I still stand by that. There's more doubt for me about what are her feelings for him. I think I'm a bit more convinced. I think yesterday I said about 65-35. Now I might be about 60-40. It's approaching that tipping point. And they did say, didn't they, that, they think they've talked a little bit about moving in. And after you've been in each other's pockets for 24 hours, actually, I kind of think it's not that big a jump, is it? I mean, they've pretty much been together for almost 2 months. Tommy came in at the end of that first day. Molly-Mae came in a few days after. So I think if they moved in, it might not go as badly as like other relationships when they move in too early. But I think where he might get caught out is where he said he can make paella.
Yeah.
She's going to, all the things that he's made for her, like the omelette and stuff with salt and pepper. I think, Molly-Mae's going to see when he hasn't got a Curtis there, he actually can't cook anything. He can make a cheese and mayonnaise butty, on dry toast, no butter or anything. So, yeah, I think they could last a bit longer, genuinely.
We'll see, Dave. We'll see. I'd love to be proven wrong, I must admit. Now, Dave, we've had a couple of emails in from some of our listeners again, and with it being the final episode, I've got to read these out. And again, thank you so much, guys. Even though the show's over, if you are listening to this further down the line, please drop us an email or a tweet on Twitter at Love Island Cast. If you're going to email the show, the loveislandcast@gmail.com, and just send anything in. Anything, myself and Dave will always answer it. Now, this one's from Kayla Monsanto. And it says, last podcast. Hey, guys, I've enjoyed listening to the podcast as an American viewer. I must say I feel the winners should be Amber and Greg. Well, got that one right. Or Ovi and India, because Ovi made this show enjoyable. The winners should be a couple we like, not just who's been together the longest. Tommy and Molly-Mae are just as boring as Danny and Jack from the previous season. Amazing podcast. I love your opinions on the show and can't wait for the next season. And that's from Kayla. So thank you very much. I hope I pronounced that right as well. And
very good. And we did get another one as well, didn't we? So we got one from Emma again. So it says, hi, guys. Well, the final has come. I think this was sent just before the end. The result came out there. So it says, well, the final has come. And I have to say, I've definitely been disappointed with this series. Too fake and scripted. Defo should be called Fake Island. Notice Curtis and Tommy have fresh haircuts for the, in quotes, live final. Amber and Greg to win for me. Good call there. But I have a feeling it will be Molly-Mae and Tommy. Let's see how long they last outside the villa. And there's a few rolling smileys there. P.S. What about the new Gemma Collins program for your new podcast? New podcast, Chris? Sure, Dave would love it. Well, you're right there. So thanks a lot, Emma, for that one. And like I said, have a word with yourself, Chris.
Dave, I despise Gemma Collins, the GC. I despise her with everything. But we would absolutely rip the fuck out of her big time. Oh, she's vile. But there's plenty of people who do like her, so I'd love to do that. And it's not on every night, Dave. It's only once a week. You know what I mean? Nudge, nudge. It could be one. We could become Gemma Collins.
It is the football season coming up, remember?
Yeah, well, after last year's performance with my team, Dave, I might just stick to the reality stuff. But no, thank you, Dave, as well. I know it's been 2 months, and at times it's been so funny, but it's been a lot of dedication, reviewing the show, watching it, getting it out, the podcast. So, as always, mate, it's a big thanks from me, because we're just a good tag team together when it comes to stuff like this. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And thank you to everyone who's emailed the show, tweeted us, whether you've agreed, disagreed with us, it doesn't matter. It gets people talking, and we're all watching the same show that we love. So thank you so much to everyone.
No, it is brilliant. I echo all of that, and yeah, absolutely, Chris. It's been great to go on this. I'm going to say the J word, go on this journey. As glad as I am that it's kind of over now. But I mean, what are the particular highlights for yourself?
I think my particular highlights was seeing how 3 of the guys just did complete 180s. So Curtis, Michael, and then eventually Jordan. They were the absolute highlights of just seeing somebody just be an absolute prick, basically, and just totally just changed the personalities in the space of like one episode. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Curtis especially, where he had this phantom love story with Jordan, who nobody, including her, knew what the hell he was going on about, saying there's a connection. I think that was probably my highlight, and probably my lowest points of this whole series was just watching Anna and a bad attitude. I think I know these people disagree with me. Yeah, I think with Anna, it's just her bad behaviour. I said that at the start of the podcast. I'm going to call that bad behaviour. Men, woman, duck, dog. It doesn't matter. If you're bad and you've got a bad attitude, then you get called out. And I just found her really hard work at times. And even when we should have been rooting for her with the situation with Jordan, it was still difficult. I didn't like seeing her cry. But unfortunately, she'd done the old 1-2 with Ovi, so she has no real recourse to play the victim. So sadly, it was Anna. I think she was my probably most unlikable character of this whole series. What about yourself, Dave?
I think so different to yourself. I think I prefer the comedy moments a little bit more. So obviously when Tom and Maura are just about to go into the hideaway and he's trying to play up to the lads and he says, let's see if she is all mouth. And then she hears him and then he repeats it to her. And then it's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then he's like, oh, I didn't say it. I was just repeating. I just thought that was brilliant. I mean, he was just such a lying toad, quite honestly, because we all saw exactly what he said. And then he's trying to convince everyone that black is white. And so it's just, that was a particular highlight for me. I also thought Marvin, when he was trying to chat up Amber in the most David Brent way I've ever seen in my life, where he's basically talking about, I'm attracted to you, but I don't like you, or something like that. And he's saying, you're like a door, you're like a closed door that's a bit damaged. This is just brilliant. So those were the most fun moments for me.
No, that's great. That's great. And Dave, I'm not going to throw you under the bus as it's the end of our last episode of this series. Just say thank you again. Thanks, everyone. I have been Chris Phelps. I will drop the mic without the sound effects, and I'll just say, Dave, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.